All right, Leonard, changing topics now. Rolly Romero is fighting Pitbull Cruz. And I feel a lot of fans like that's the fight. Like that's the fight that they're like super hyped for with them too. You've been saying this whole time, Rolly knockout. Why do you feel that way, and what do you see there that many others aren't seeing?
Well, Pitbull's style, he fights one way. He fights one way. He's very aggressive. He's very aggressive. And Rolly and his trainer have been working on ways to counter that kind of stuff. And he's not going to just continually run up in there on Rolly.
How do you see the fight playing out?
I see the fight playing out is that it was an all-action fight, an all-action fight from the opening bell. Neither guy's going to sit back and be bouncing around and fighting off the back foot. It's like Rolly will have some things in his arsenal to be able to counter that.
Yeah, what's been new? I know he's training with Salas now. Like, what have you seen there that you see much more improved in Rolly this time about?
Well, he's a lot more patient. He's a lot more patient, and he understands what this is about. It's no rush to do anything. It's coming. There's no other way. There's no other way. You ain't got to find him. He's coming. So you just got to know what to do. You know, and he's had an excellent camp. He really has.
How so?
The right sparring, and it's kind of hard to emulate that kind of stuff if you don't have the right sparring for the preparation standpoint.
Yeah, given he's so short too.
Yeah. So you have to have the right sparring, get guys and they've done a great job with bringing in the right kind of sparring. Pitbull Cruz, he's a very good fighter. He'd have got his ass knocked out by Tank if Tank came into the fight with a hurt hand. Okay, and then he hurt his hand even worse in the fight. And so you can see if you go back and watch the fight, Tank couldn't get off like he would, and then that's what made it look like the guy was closing the gap, and Tank still did what he needed to do because, again, he went to plan B, had to box a little more than he would have liked to, and being able to mix it up, you know. But Rolly,
yeah, because a lot of people still hang that over Tank, like, hey,
there's no way that Tank. But see, that's part of just the fans, you know, that side of the fans that, you know, that don't like him, don't like us. And it's okay, though. It's okay because at the end of the day, that's what you have judges for. And
well, I think more so it's, hey, you couldn't knock him out, and he should have won the fight.
Well, the only reason he did knock him out because he had one hand. So it's kind of hard to get a guy out of there when you only got one hand. You need two hands to be able to do what you got to do. This is boxing. You know, so
is that at all on the docket? I know you're confident that Rolly will knock out Pitbull, but is that all that they revisit that again too?
What?
Pitbull and Tank, in your opinion?
Do they revisit that?
Yeah. Do they go head to head again?
No.
No, really?
No.
I mean, that's a big business fight. That does money.
Well, I'm just saying that if that's what Tank wants to do, then he'll do that.
Yeah. True. Yeah. It's up to him ultimately.
Yeah. Everything's up to him. And the only reason why I say that is that I think when Rolly knocks him out, nobody's going to want to see that. That's just my opinion.
You think it's setting up a rematch with Rolly?
No.
No.
Tank fights at 135 pounds.
He's had a fight at 140.
Rolly could be going to 47.
He did mention that. That's true. Yeah.
Those guys won't be fighting.
No?
No.
No more. That's it. It's done.
That's it.
It's over.
That's
no
it.
more Pitbull. No more Rolly.
If Tank wants to do that, then that's what he's doing. But I'm just saying from
the immediate.
Yeah, the way I see things is that, one, Pitbull's getting ready to get knocked out. One. Okay, so what are we talking about?
Yeah.
And those two are in two different weight classes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's that Tank's the guy at any weight class, though. He's the guy.
Yes.
He's the cash cow. He's the money guy.
When you look at Tank, this potential June date with Frank Martin, is that accurate? Is that what you're hearing too?
When Tank is ready to let you guys know what he's doing and where he's going to do it at, he's going to do it.
What do you make of the prospects of fighting a Frank Martin for Gervonta?
Frank Martin's a good fighter.
Yeah.
He's a very good fighter. And some of the things I've been hearing lately just about him, just, from just browsing it. It's like people want to make excuses now. They want to make excuses. I don't make
for who?
They want to make excuses to talk about this fighter ain't that good, and I don't want to hear none of that. All these fighters are good. All these fighters are good. Frank Martin ain't no chump. He fight his ass off. He can't beat Tank though.
How does that fight look, in your opinion?
How a fight like that?
Yeah. Like style-wise, yeah. Like what happens?
He's a good boxer. He's a slick boxer. Tank can do all that though.
Yeah.
Tank can do all that, and then, Tank does what he does. Tank has an extremely high IQ. Extremely high IQ. He can do it all. He can box, he can bang.
I think a lot of people would favor Tank in that fight, given the complications Frank had in the last fight with the Armenian fighter, the Southpaw. They gave him trouble until he got him out of there, I think, in the last round.
Well, again, people going to make assumptions and judge you, and at the end of the day, it all comes down to doing what you got to do when you get under them lights. That's what it's all about. And to add on to your question, Frank Martin's a very good fighter.
How do you see Gervonta at this point in, if he's watching, I apologize, I'm not naming him by his new name. I don't know it off the top of my head accurately, but I don't mean it as a slight by calling him Gervonta and stuff like that. But how have you seen him since the change and all that?
Tank is very mature. Well, that's probably been the one thing that I've been really impressed with, just his how he's maturing as a young man. He's a very good father. He's trying to lead by example. He's more grounded. He's a little older now. So, again, I really have a lot of respect for that. He's not 23 anymore, 25 anymore. So, he looks at things differently. I'm just really excited for when he gets back in the ring.
And that'll be?
He will let you know.
but he will let us know. How far up do you see him going up in weight? Do you think he'll go back eventually to 140 to get campaign there?
I don't know. You got to – I'll put it to you this way. He took a picture on a scale – I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw that. He was pretty slim.
138 and a half or something like that.
Could you think he'd make 130?
I know he can make 130.
Yeah.
I've been saying that all along. If he wanted to and he needed to for a specific thing, he could do that if he wanted to. That's why all this nonsense about he should do this, and it's just all nonsense.
Yeah.
It's all nonsense.
What fight would be the right fight at 130, you think?
I've never had one thought about.
Yeah,
I've never had one thought. I would just use that as an example of that his walk around weight. See, what people are failing to realize, they're looking at the old Tank when he was a little
missing weight.
He was a little undisciplined.
Yeah.
But that's how he's matured as a fighter and as a young man. He's doing all the things that he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
He's maintaining the right discipline that he needs to do when he's not fighting. He's staying around the gym, and he's being an excellent father figure and raising his kids.
I know it sounded like super way off. Like there's no way this fight would happen. But now that you're mentioning it, that he could make 130, maybe we could see it in a no-way fight. I think that would be like a huge fight, given what Inoue brings too, an explosive one too. Well, but I still think he's too small.
Yeah. Again, I don't know what that kid is doing. I don't know where he's at, how far he's going. Wish him nothing but the best.
Yeah, I think right now
imagine
he's at 122.
It's always going to be an excuse. Always going to be an excuse. Hypothetically, if something like that did happen at 130, what's going to be the excuse? When Tank knocks him out, he moved up 2 weight classes. It's always going to be an excuse. Always. Just like when he went up and he fought Barrios and he stopped him, it was like, Barrios, he was this and that. It's always going to be something. Tank, in my opinion, he's a natural 30-pounder. I mean, well, not he
around that weight, 30, 35.
Yeah,
that's his natural weights.
Yeah, he's a naturally small guy. He just packs a big punch.
Yeah, abnormally big punch for
and
that
that's
weight.
what separates him. His high IQ, his great boxing ability, and then he got that one-hitter quitter.
Yeah, he does. That's the game. He has a game.
One-hitter quitter.
You know, the other two fights that fans really want to see him in is against Devin and against Shakur. What do you make of those two potentially?
Tank wants all them guys.
Yeah.
Tank wants them all. That's a fact. Just got to see how it plays out.
Yeah. Are they difficult to make, do you think, at this point?
Don't get me started on that. Don't get me started. Tank is focused on what he got to go do, and he's going to make an announcement.
Without you getting really riled up, are you confident we see those two in the next few years?
I'm not going to comment on none of that because, again, the focus is kind of what the focus is. And when that time comes, Tank will let you guys know what he's doing.
I know I've talked to you about it a lot of times. We're going to end it, give you guys a little teaser. You're potentially writing something very interesting, right?
A book. It is going to be a bestseller. Yeah, well, I'll keep it.
And it's recounting your career, right, in boxing?
Yeah, I take a journal every day and have been for 20-plus years, you know, and so it's definitely, I got some
a lot of good stories there with your time with Floyd.
Incredible, just not only Floyd.
Well, your whole time in boxing.
Yeah. It's like I've seen everything. Everything in the sport. Everything. I'm
going to be one of the first. I want an advance edition from you, okay?
From trying to be bribed with $1 million.
Who tried to bribe you for $1 million?
I can't tell you about that, but that's just a little snippet of it.
What else? Give me a little.
Somebody came to me with a bag of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much does a bag of
loyalty is everything. You can't buy me with. It's like once I rock with you, that's a lifetime thing unless you cross me.
Well, good. I can't wait for the book.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a good book.
Yes, it is.
Hey, Leonard, as always, man, thank you.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Leonard Ellerbe, Marcos Viegas here in Las Vegas for Fight Hub.